Datta, Sri Guru Datta, Jai Guru 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 Datta, Sri Guru Datta. Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatyai Namaha, Shri Padavallabha Narasimha Saraswati, Shri Guru Dattatreya Namaha, Shri Ganapati Satchidananda Sadgurubhyo Namo Namaha, Harihi Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Hanumate Namaha. Jai Guru Datta and welcome to Datta Arpanam with your hosts Rishi Nirvan Barup
and Ravita Singh. Jai Guru Datta, Swagatam, and thank you for tuning in to Datta Arpanam, a showcase of the life, music and teachings of His Holiness Paramapujya Dr. Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Datta Ji of Avadhuta Dattapitam in Mysuru. Today's program begins with the offering of pranams, gratitude, and this invocation prayer at the sacred feet of beloved Sadgurudeva, Pujya Shri Datta Ji, as this program, possible only through His divine grace, is offered to him. Please join His second in command, Pujya Shri 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 Datta Vijayananda Tirtha Swamiji, now in worship.
Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatyai Namaha, Shri Padavallabha Narasimha Saraswati, Shri Guru Dattatreya Namaha, Shri Ganapati Satchidananda Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gururdevo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Bhuyuta Shri Hari Chinnhitabhyam Agastya Rekhadibhiranchitabhyam Nigodha Bijakshara Mudritabhyam Namo Namah Sadguru Padukabhyam. Ganapati Gurumekam Satchidanandarupam Vibhudharivahasevyam Yogamargadhirudham Sharanamupagatanam Sanghadrivajram Mama Hridaya Nivasam Bhaktinamro Namami, Bhaktinamro Namami.
Once again everyone, Swagatam, and thank you for tuning in to this morning's episode of Datta Arpanam. Today's program is being brought to you through the kind courtesy of Ramlal Educational Institute of number 12 Exchange Lots Couva, Bellini's Drug Mart Limited of 58-60 Sutton Street, San Fernando, Debe Supermart Limited of 182 SS Aaron Road, Debe, and Koke Supermart Limited of 14 Naparima Mayaro Road, San Fernando.
Last week, the story of Srinivasa Kalyanam wrapped up on Datta Arpanam. But this series was by no means a comprehensive account of the greatness of Lord Srinivasa or Lord Venkateshwara. How can the infinite Lord, even if he takes on a finite form, how can we ever completely describe his greatness? We cannot. All we can do is to study his stories and, using them through the guidance of Sadgurudeva, try to understand his supreme greatness.
Today, as the formal series on Srinivasa Kalyanam comes to an end on Datta Arpanam, we thank you for joining us on this divine journey. And as has been the case on every episode in this series, today's episode of Datta Arpanam will begin with the worship of Lord Ganapati.
Swami Manasa Datta was, in his Purvashrama days, called Radha Krishna. Today's first bhajan, a composition of Pujya Dattaji's, was years ago recorded in the powerful voice of Radha Krishna. And while he is no longer physically with us, Swami Manasa Datta's exuberance and his love for worship live on in recordings like these. So please join now in singing this bhajan. You can find the words to the bhajan by entering bhajan ID number 42 on the Bhajan Mala app or on the website www.bhajanmala.com.
Jaya Lambodara Pahimam, Jaya Lambodara Pahimam, Jaya Lambodara Pahimam, Jaya Lambodara Pahimam, Nijamba Sutarakshama, Sutarakshama, Nijamba Sutarakshama, Jaya Lambodara Pahimam, Jaya Lambodara Pahimam, Nijamba Sutarakshama, Nijamba Sutarakshama, Jaya Lambodara Pahimam, Jaya Lambodara Pahimam, Bhaja Shambho Sutta Pahimam, Bhaja Shambho Sutta Pahimam, Nija Gauri Sutta Rakshama, Nija Gauri Sutta Rakshama, Bhaja Shambho Sutta Pahimam, Bhaja Shambho Sutta Pahimam, Nija Gauri Sutta Rakshama, Nija Gauri Sutta Rakshama, Bhajanatyadara Pahimam, Bhajanatyadara Pahimam, Bhajanatyadara Pahimam, Bhajanatyadara Pahimam, Nija Vidyadara Rakshama, Nija Vidyadara Rakshama, Jaya Lambodara Pahimam, Jaya Lambodara Pahimam, Nijamba Sutta Rakshama, Nijamba Sutta Rakshama, Bhajanatyadara Pahimam, Bhajanatyadara Pahimam, Nija Vidyadara Rakshama, Nija Vidyadara Rakshama, भज सच्चिदानन्द पाहि मां भज सच्चिदानन्द पाहि मां भज सच्चिदानन्द पाहि मां भज सच्चिदानन्द पाहि मां निज नित्यानन्द रक्ष मां निज नित्यानन्द रक्ष मां जय लम्बोदर पाहि मां जय लम्बोदर पाहि मां निज अम्बासुत रक्ष मां निज अम्बासुत रक्ष मां जय लम्बोदर पाहि मां जय लम्बोदर पाहि मां निज अम्बासुत रक्ष मां निज अम्बासुत रक्ष मां भज शम्भोसुत पाहि मां भज शम्भोसुत पाहि मां निज गौरीसुत रक्ष मां निज गौरीसुत रक्ष मां भज नाट्याधर पाहि मां भज नाट्याधर पाहि मां निज विद्याधर रक्ष मां निज विद्याधर रक्ष मां भज सच्चिदानन्द पाहि मां भज सच्चिदानन्द पाहि मां भज सच्चिदानन्द पाहि मां भज सच्चिदानन्द पाहि मां निज नित्यानन्द रक्ष मां निज नित्यानन्द रक्ष मां जय लम्बोदर जय लम्बोदर जय लम्बोदर पाहि मां
Parama Pujya Sri Ganapati Satchidananda Datta Ji has composed bhajans in many different languages. The Ganapati bhajan to which you were just listening is one of his Sanskritam bhajans. Beautiful language, beautiful bhajan, and beautiful rendition of that bhajan.
The voice to which you were just listening was the voice of the late Swami Manasa Datta here on Datta Arpanam. Thank you for tuning in to today's offering, which is coming to you on 103.1 FM through the grace of Puja Sri Datta Ji, and thanks to the sponsorship by Ramlal Educational Institute, Debe Supermart Limited, Fellini's Drug Mart Limited, and Kokie Supermart Limited.
As you heard earlier, today is the final day in the series on Srinivasa Kalyanam on Datta Arpanam.
Srinivasa Kalyanam is a divine play or Leela. It is the story of the wonders of Lord Srinivasa. Actually, Pujya Datta Ji has said that many scriptures depict Lord Srinivasa in different ways. Many poets have studied and described this Lord from different angles. This series on Datta Arpanam has been based on the teachings of Pujya Datta Ji on Lord Srinivasa. It dealt with the story of Srinivasa Kalyanam from a spiritual perspective.
There is a lot to know about Lord Srinivasa, and it is good to know about this Lord, Lord Venkateshwara. Learning about his miracles brings bliss. I'm sure you have tapped into such bliss while listening to his story. Actually, Pujya Datta Ji says that we can learn different aspects of the story of Venkateshwara Swami from different scriptures like Varaha Puranam, Padma Puranam, Garuda Puranam, Vamana Puranam, Skanda Puranam, Aditya Puranam, Bhaveshyottara Puranam, and Brahmottara Puranam.
And various pundits have written about the miracles of Lord Srinivasa in different ways.
Lord Srinivasa manifested in different places like Sri Rangam, Venkatadri, Salagramam, Naimisham, Totradin Pushkaram, and Narayanashramam. and he has Panchavataras or 5 avatars. Paraswarupam, which is the original Swarupam or the original form of the Lord in Vaikuntha. Vyuha Swarupam, which is the manifestation taken for devotees. This form does creation. Vibhava Swarupam. This manifestation speaks of the 10 avatars of Vishnu and their greatness. This form is also seen by a jivi or an individual when karma is being experienced.
Then there's also Antaryami Rupam. This form can only be witnessed by yogis. In this form, Lord Narayana is the size of a thumb in the heart of the disciple. Such a person is not affected by external surroundings.
And the 5th of the Panchavataras is Lohavatara. In Lohavatara, Venkateshwara Swami manifests in various elements like gold and silver and also in wood.
In this Lohavatara form, Lord Srinivasa became the Salagrama Murti in Sheshachalam and as Venkateshwara in Sheshadri.
And on Saptagiri, he manifested as Saptagireshwara to protect his devotees.
Listeners, this one Lord takes on these various forms to fulfill various roles. This should always remind us that though forms may vary, only one exists.
And that form may exist in human form, in animal form, or, as is seen in the case of Lord Narasimha, in part man, part animal form.
That form can also occur as male or as female.
In other words, everything and everyone is an expression of that supreme divinity.
Let us worship that supreme divinity now as we join in praising her as Tripura Devi. Please open the Bhajanmala app or website to Bhajan ID number 975 and join in this devotional offering.
Jayam Jayam Jayam
Jayam Jayam Jayam Jayam
Jayam Jayam Jaya Jayam Jayam
Jayam Jayam Jaya Jayam Jayam
Tripura Devi ki Tiranga Vijayam
Tripura Devi ki Tiranga Vijayam
Tripura Bhakti ki Jayam Jayam
Tripura Bhakti ki Jayam Jayam
Tripura Devi ki Tiranga Vijayam
Tripura Devi ki Tiranga Vijayam
Tripura Bhakti ki Jayam Jayam
Tripura Bhakti ki Jayam Jayam
Jayam Jayam Jayam Jayam Jayam Jayam Jaya Jayam Jayam
Jayam Jayam Jayam Jayam Jayam Jayam Jaya Jayam Jayam
कर्त्री धर्त्री हर्त्री मातकु
धरती धरती हरती मातकु
जयम 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 जयम
जयम जयम जयम जयम
कर्त्री धर्त्री हर्त्री मातकु
धरती धरती हरती मातकु
जयम 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 जयम
जयम जयम जयम जयम
త్రివర్ణమాతకు
జయం జయం
త్రిగుణాత్మికకు
జయం జయం
త్రిమూర్తి మాతకు
జయం జయం
త్రిలోకనేత్రికి
జయం జయం
త్రివర్ణమాతకు
జయం జయం
త్రిగుణాత్మికకు
జయం జయం
త్రిమూర్తి మాతకు
జయం జయం
త్రిలోకనేత్రికి జయం 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 జయ జయం జయం
జయం జయం జయం జయం జయం జయం జయ జయం జయం
జయం జయం జయ జయం జయం
జయం జయం జయ జయం జయం
భక్తికి భక్తుల కహో జయం
భక్తికి భక్తుల కహో జయం
అమ్మవరాలకు
జయం జయం
అమ్మవరాలకు
జయం జయం
భక్తికి భక్తుల కహో జయం
భక్తికి భక్తుల కహో జయం
అమ్మవరాలకు
జయం జయం
అమ్మవరాలకు
జయం జయం
దేశ ప్రగతికి
జయం జయం
దేశ ప్రగతికి
జయం జయం
సచ్చిదానందపు జయం జయం సచ్చిదానందపు జయం జయం త్రివర్ణమాతకు
జయం జయం
త్రివర్ణమాతకు
జయం జయం
దేశ ప్రగతికి
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 జయం జయం
Another beautiful musical composition by the one who is world renowned for his divine music and healing, Paramapujya Sri Ganapati Satchidananda Datta Ji. You are listening to Datta Arpanam, which is coming to you on 103.1 FM through the grace of Pujya Sri Datta Ji, and thanks to the sponsorship by Ramlal Educational Institute, Debe Supermart Limited, Valini's Drug Mart Limited, and Kokie Supermart Limited. Before that bhajan, you heard that Venkateshwara Swami or Lord Srinivasa manifested on the Saptagiri or the seven hills to protect his devotees. Well, different Puranas have named the Saptagiri differently.
And not just that, but in each of the 4 yugas, the Saptagiris have different names. Rishabhadrim in Krita Yuga, Anjanachalam in Treta Yuga, Sheshashailam in Dwapara Yuga, and Venkatachalam in Kali Yuga.
The Saptagiri is also called Chintamani because it fulfills the desires of people.
It is called Jnanadri because, just like Sadguru, this mountain blesses devotees with true knowledge.
Because of its many lakes and holy waters, the mountain is called Tirthadri.
And since there are also many Pushkara Tirthas or sacred bathing places, it is called Pushkaradri.
Since the Saptagiri originated in Vaikuntha, it is also called Vaikuntadri.
And since it is the place where Lord Narasimha incarnated in order to slay Hiranyakashipu, it is called Simhadri.
The mountain is called Niladri since Nila resides here.
And because of the presence of nectar there and the well-being it grants, it is known as Venkatadri.
It is also called Anandadri since just by merely seeing it, devotees are blessed with boundless happiness. Actually, as we have learnt in the story of Srinivasa Kalyanam, Lakshmi Devi and Lord Sri Hari are present on this mountain, which is filled with lush green plants. This Anandadri gives happiness to even the Lord as well.
The Saptagiri is also known as Sri Shailam, since it is the home of goddess Lakshmi.
And since, as desired by Varaha Swami, the mountain was brought from Vaikuntha by Lord Garuda, it is also called Garudadri.
The word Krida refers to games and recreational activities. Since the Lord enjoys living on this mountain and strolling around there, the mountain is also called Kridadri.
A little while ago, you heard that in Krita Yuga, the Saptagiri was called Vrishabhadri. Well, in that Yuga, there was an Asura called Vrishabhasura. Vrishabhasura worshipped the Lord with great fervor. He would offer his head as a flower during puja, and near the end of the puja, the head would automatically get reattached to his body. That was how strong his devotion was.
One day, the Lord appeared to Vrishabhasura and told him to make a wish. But, due to the demon's Rakshasa tendencies, what he wished for was to fight with the Lord himself.
During the war which ensued, Vrishabhasura's strength diminished, and once he sensed this, he realized that he would be vanquished. When this realization dawned, the demon surrendered to the Lord with folded hands. He wished for that place where they were to be named after him, to be named Vrishabhadri.
You also heard that the Saptagiri was called Anjanachalam or Anjanadri in Treta Yuga. Well, in Treta Yuga, there was a couple called Kesari and Anjana who really wanted to have a child but could not. Dharma Devata, in the form of a seer of the future, advised Anjana Devi to perform penance on Vrishabhadri mountain in order to beget a son. Since then, this mountain came to be known as Anjanadri. Devotees continued to pour in and receive blessings. That couple did end up having a son, Lord Hanuman, Anjaneya Swami, Kesari Nandan.
So, what about the name Venkatachalam, the name by which the Saptagiri is known in this present age of Kali? Well, in Kali Yuga, there was a young man named Madhava who was of a very good character. Madhava got married to Chandralekha, but after some time, he went astray, left his wife and family, and fell for a tribal woman, Kuntala. He began living with Kuntala.
In order to take care of his common-law wife, Madhava committed many sins including murders.
Time passed and Kuntala died. Madhava's past sins made him terribly sick. On top of that, people started hating him. They would not even give him a few morsels of food. He struggled to get even a sip of water.
Then, one day, Madhava came across a group of pilgrims. Hoping to get some food, he followed them. The pilgrims were chanting, Govinda, Govinda. So Madhava also started saying Govinda.
Following the pilgrims, Madhava climbed the mountain Anjanadri. Every step that he took helped to completely wash away his sins. The gods showered flowers on Madhava, who had been blessed by Lord Srinivasa. Such is the power of the Lord.
Since Madhava's sins got washed away this way, the place came to be known as Venkatachalam, and Lord Srinivasa, who resides there, came to be known as Venkateshwara.
But there's also another meaning to the word Venkata. Ven is the seed of Amritam, or the seed of nectar of immortality. Katam means prosperity. Since these two, spiritual and materialistic happiness, reside here together, the place is called Venkatachalam.
The Saptagiri or Seven Hills is also called Narayanadri, but the story behind this may not be what you expect. There was once a sage by the name of Narayana. He performed penance to please Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma instructed him to worship Lord Srinivasa, who resides on the Saptagiri.
After performing penance, sage Narayana was blessed with the darshanam of Sriman Narayana, or Lord Vishnu. The Lord granted salvation to the sage and renamed the mountain as Narayanadri, since Narayana was the name of both the Lord and the sage.
Listeners, this Saptagiri is located in Tirupati, India. Actually, just as we mentioned the 7 hills in Tirupati, in honor of those 7 hills, at the Venkateshwara temple in Pujya Dattaji's Mysore ashrama, there are 7 steps leading to the temple.
As always, there is significance in everything that Pujya Dattaji says and does. But getting back to the Saptagiri, if we climb this mountain while constantly chanting the name of the Lord, and if we see the Lord in every stone, Pujya Dattaji says that like Garuda, we will be blessed with the strength to carry the Lord. When life becomes very difficult, the Lord's blessings give us strength to weather through such suffering.
The final destination of a soul is bliss or Anandam. But we do not have to travel far and wide for this Anandam. We don't have to go to Vaikuntha. The Lord has sent this piece of heaven to us.
Listeners, Pujya Dattaji has said that if devotees are keen on getting darshanam of the Saptagiris and are diligent in their sadhana, this mountain blesses them with darshan. There is no need to even go to the mountain. Such is the compassion of Venkateshwara Swami.
Venkataramana Govinda.
Govinda. Today you have heard about the various names by which Venkatadri is known. You have also heard of the Panchavataras of Lord Srinivasa. But there's no way we can wrap up this series on Srinivasa Kalyanam without paying tribute to the form of that Lord which instigated this entire series.
On August 9th, 2025, Parama Puja Sri Ganapati Satchidananda Dattaji consecrated a Lord Venkateshwara temple at his ashrama in Dallas, Texas. And inspired by that murti and the programs leading up to his Prana Pratishta, by the grace of Puja Dattaji, this Srinivasa Kalyanam series on Datta Arpanam was born.
So, now that the series has come to an end, we once again remember Kalyanam Venkateshwara Swami in Dallas, Texas. Let us join now in worshipping him. Please open the Bhajan Mala app or website, the Bhajan ID number 2364, and join in worshipping, as the Bhajan says, Lord Venkataramana enshrined in the American city of Dallas.
Dalasu Venkataramana Namo.
Dalasu Venkataramana Namo.
Dalasu Venkataramana Namo.
Dalasu Venkataramana Namo.
Pravasa Venkataramana Namo.
Pravasa Venkataramana Namo.
Pravasa Venkataramana Namo.
Pravasa Venkataramana Namo. Lakshmi Ramana Govinda. Venkataramana Govinda. Lakshmi Ramana Govinda. Venkataramana Govinda.
Rajatratnabharana Namo.
Lakshmi Ramana Govinda.
Kapisa Samsrita Charana Namo.
Venkataramana Govinda.
Rajatratnabharana Namo.
Lakshmi Ramana Govinda.
Kapisa Samsrita Charana Namo.
Venkataramana Govinda.
Raja జయత్రత్నాభరణ నమో
లక్ష్మీరమణ గోవింద
కపీశ సంశ్రిత చరణ నమో
వెంకటరమణ గోవింద
కపీశ సంశ్రిత చరణ నమో
వెంకటరమణ గోవింద వెంకటరమణ గోవింద
దాలసు వెంకటరమణ నమో
దాలసు వెంకటరమణ నమో
ప్రవాస వెంకటరమణ నమో
ప్రవాస వెంకటరమణ నమో
కటిహస్తాద్భుత భూరి వరదుడా
లక్ష్మీరమణ గోవింద
కోటి కందర్ప సుందరుడా
వెంకటరమణ గోవింద
కోమల గాత్ర కలియుగ దేవ
లక్ష్మీరమణ గోవింద
కోవెలలో కొలువైనావా
వెంకటరమణ గోవింద
కటిహస్తాద్భుత భూరి వరదుడా
లక్ష్మీరమణ గోవింద
కోటి కందర్ప సుందరుడా
వెంకటరమణ గోవింద
కోమల గాత్ర కలియుగ దేవ
లక్ష్మీరమణ గోవింద
కోవెలలో కొలువైనావా
వెంకటరమణ గోవింద వెంకటరమణ గోవింద వెంకటరమణ గోవింద దాలసు వెంకటరమణ నమో దాలసు వెంకటరమణ నమో ప్రవాస వెంకటరమణ నమో ప్రవాస వెంకటరమణ నమో
శంఖ చక్రములు చేతుల మెరయ
లక్ష్మీరమణ గోవింద
కార్యసిద్ధి హనుమంతుడు మురియ
వెంకటరమణ గోవింద
భక్త కల్ప పూరుగమై నిండుగా
లక్ష్మీరమణ గోవింద
సచ్చిదానందుడ పైనావా
వెంకటరమణ గోవింద
శంఖ చక్రములు చేతుల మెరయ
లక్ష్మీరమణ గోవింద
కార్యసిద్ధి హనుమంతుడు మురియ
వెంకటరమణ గోవింద
భక్త కల్ప పూరుగమై నిండుగా
లక్ష్మీరమణ గోవింద
సచ్చిదానందుడ పైనావా
వెంకటరమణ గోవింద వెంకటరమణ గోవింద వెంకటరమణ గోవింద
దాలసు వెంకటరమణ నమో ప్రవాస వెంకటరమణ నమో 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 గోవింద హరి గోవింద
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 గోవింద హరి గోవింద గోవింద హరి గోవింద గోవింద హరి గోవింద గోవింద హరి గోవింద హరి గోవింద
And with that original bhajan composed and rendered by Parama Pujya Sri Ganapati Satchidananda Datta Ji, the Srinivasa Kalyanam series on Datta Arpanam has now officially come to a close. It has been a wonderful and divine journey which we loved sharing with you.
But while the Srinivasa Kalyanam series has ended, that does not mean that today's episode of Datta Arpanam has ended. This coming Wednesday, that's April 1st, 2026, a very special celebration is taking place.
That's right. This coming Wednesday is Hanuman Jayanti, the celebration of the incarnation of Lord Shiva as Lord Hanuman. How fitting it is that on an episode when their son, the great Sevak, is being honored, we were also reminded of the piety and service of Kesari Swami and Anjana Devi.
So devotees of this Hanuman land and devotees far and wide, please join in worshipping the son of Kesari and Anjana, Lord Hanuman.
ಕೇಸರಿ ನಂದನ ವಂದಿಪೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಬೇಸರವಿಲ್ಲ ನಿನ್ನ ಶೋಧನೆಗೆ 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 ಗರ್ಭದ ವಾಸಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂಜುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ನಿನ್ನ ನಾಮ ಸ್ಮರಣೆಗೆ ಈ ಜನ್ಮವೆಲ್ಲ ಗರ್ಭದ ವಾಸಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂಜುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ನಿನ್ನ ನಾಮ ಸ್ಮರಣೆಗೆ ಈ ಜನ್ಮವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಸರಿ ನಂದನ ವಂದಿಪೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಬೇಸರವಿಲ್ಲ ನಿನ್ನ ಶೋಧನೆಗೆ ಕೇಸರಿ ನಂದನ ವಂದಿಪೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಬೇಸರವಿಲ್ಲ ನಿನ್ನ ಶೋಧನೆಗೆ ಜನ್ಮ ಬಂದರೇನು ನಿನ್ನನು ಬಿಡಲೊಲ್ಲೆ ಜನ್ಮ ಬಂದರೇನು ನಿನ್ನನು ಬಿಡಲೊಲ್ಲೆ ಕಷ್ಟವಾದರೇನಂತೆ ನಿನ್ನ ನಾನು ಭಜಿಪೇನು ಕಷ್ಟವಾದರೇನಂತೆ ನಿನ್ನ ನಾನು ಭಜಿಪೇನು ನಿಷ್ಠೂರ ಜಗದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಷ್ಠೆಯಿಂದಾಗಿರುವೆನು ನಿಷ್ಠೂರ ಜಗದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಷ್ಠೆಯಿಂದಾಗಿರುವೆನು ದೊಡ್ಡಸ್ತಿಗೆ ಈ ಭ್ರಮೆ ನಷ್ಟವೇ ಆಗಲಿ ದೊಡ್ಡಸ್ತಿಗೆ ಈ ಭ್ರಮೆ ನಷ್ಟವೇ ಆಗಲಿ ಕೇಸರಿ ನಂದನ ವಂದಿಪೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಬೇಸರವಿಲ್ಲ ನಿನ್ನ ಶೋಧನೆಗೆ ಕೇಸರಿ ನಂದನ ವಂದಿಪೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಬೇಸರವಿಲ್ಲ ನಿನ್ನ ಶೋಧನೆಗೆ ಬಂಧು ಬಳಗ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ಬಂದು ಹೋದರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಬಂಧು ಬಳಗ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ಬಂದು ಹೋದರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಲೆಕ್ಕವಿಲ್ಲ ಅವರ ನಿಂದೆ ತಂದೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಒಂದೇ ಲೆಕ್ಕವಿಲ್ಲ ಅವರ ನಿಂದೆ ತಂದೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಒಂದೇ ನಿನ್ನ ಭಜಿಪ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ ಹುಚ್ಚನೆಂದು ಹೇಳುವರು ನಿನ್ನ ಭಜಿಪ ಎನ್ನ ನೋಡಿ ಹುಚ್ಚನೆಂದು ಹೇಳುವರು. ಚಿಂತೆಯಿಲ್ಲ ಆಂಜನೇಯ ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದನೆ, ಚಿಂತೆಯಿಲ್ಲ ಆಂಜನೇಯ ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದನೆ. ಕೇಸರಿ ನಂದನ ವಂದಿಪೆ ನಿನಗೆ, ಬೇಸರವಿಲ್ಲ ನಿನ್ನ ಶೋಧನೆಗೆ. ಕೇಸರಿ ನಂದನ ವಂದಿಪೆ ನಿನಗೆ, ಬೇಸರವಿಲ್ಲ ನಿನ್ನ ಶೋಧನೆಗೆ. ರಾಮದೂತ ಹನುಮಂತ ಕಾರ್ಯಸಿದ್ಧಿ ಹನುಮಂತ, ರಾಮದೂತ ಹನುಮಂತ ಕಾರ್ಯಸಿದ್ಧಿ ಹನುಮಂತ, ರಾಮದೂತ ಹನುಮಂತ ಕಾರ್ಯಸಿದ್ಧಿ ಹನುಮಂತ. ರಾಮದೂತ 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 ಹನುಮಂತ ಕಾರ್ಯಸಿದ್ಧಿ ಹನುಮಂತ, ರಾಮದೂತ ಹನುಮಂತ ಕಾರ್ಯಸಿದ್ಧಿ ಹನುಮಂತ. ಹನುಮಂತ 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 ಬಲವಂತ, ಹನುಮಂತ ಬಲವಂತ, ಹನುಮಂತ ಬಲವಂತ, ಹನುಮಂತ ಬಲವಂತ, ಹನುಮಂತ ಬಲವಂತ, ಬಲವಂತ 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 ಬಲವಂತ. ಅಂಜನಾದೇವಿಯ ತಪದ ಫಲದ ರಾಸಿನಿ, ಅಂಜನಾದೇವಿಯ ತಪದ ಫಲದ ರಾಸಿನಿ. ಆಂಜನೇಯ ನಿನ್ನ ನಾಮ ಜಗತಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಂತ್ರವು, ಆಂಜನೇಯ ನಿನ್ನ ನಾಮ ಜಗತಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಂತ್ರವು. ಅಂಜನಾದೇವಿಯ ತಪದ ಫಲದ ರಾಸಿನಿ, ಅಂಜನಾದೇವಿಯ ತಪದ ಫಲದ ರಾಸಿನಿ. ಆಂಜನೇಯ ನಿನ್ನ ನಾಮ ಜಗತಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಂತ್ರವು, ಆಂಜನೇಯ ನಿನ್ನ ನಾಮ ಜಗತಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಂತ್ರವು. ಪೂರ್ಣ ಫಲ ಅರ್ಪಿಸುವೆ ನನ್ನ ಆಸೆ ಸಫಲ ಮಾಡು, ಪೂರ್ಣ ಫಲ ಅರ್ಪಿಸುವೆ ನನ್ನ ಆಸೆ ಸಫಲ ಮಾಡು. ಕಾರ್ಯಸಿದ್ಧಿ ಆಂಜನೇಯ ನನ್ನ ಕಾರ್ಯಸಿದ್ಧಿ ಮಾಡು, ಕಾರ್ಯಸಿದ್ಧಿ ಆಂಜನೇಯ ನನ್ನ ಕಾರ್ಯಸಿದ್ಧಿ ಮಾಡು. ಅಂಜನಾದೇವಿಯ ತಪದ ಫಲದ ರಾಸಿನಿ, ಆಂಜನೇಯ ನಿನ್ನ ನಾಮ ಜಗತಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಂತ್ರವು, ಆಂಜನೇಯ ನಿನ್ನ ನಾಮ ಜಗತಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಂತ್ರವು. ಕನಸು ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಿನ್ನ ನಾಮವನ್ನೇ ಸ್ಮರಿಸುವೆ, ಕನಸು ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಿನ್ನ ನಾಮವನ್ನೇ ಸ್ಮರಿಸುವೆ. ಇರುಸು ಮುರುಸು ಹೋಗಿಸು ವಿಶಾಲ ಹೃದಯ ಮಾಡು ನನ್ನ, ಇರುಸು ಮುರುಸು ಹೋಗಿಸು ವಿಶಾಲ ಹೃದಯ ಮಾಡು ನನ್ನ. ರಾಮ ಜಪಕ್ಕೆ ಒಲಿಯುವನೆ ನೇಮದಿಂದ ಭಜಿಪೆ ನಿನ್ನ, ರಾಮ ಜಪಕ್ಕೆ ಒಲಿಯುವನೆ ನೇಮದಿಂದ ಭಜಿಪೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಕಾಮನೆಗಳ ದೂರ ಮಾಡಿ ಭಕ್ತಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಸಲಹು ಎನ್ನ ಕಾಮನೆಗಳ ದೂರ ಮಾಡಿ ಭಕ್ತಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಸಲಹು ಎನ್ನ ಅಂಜನಾ ದೇವಿಯ ತಪದ ಫಲದ ರಾಸಿನಿ ಆಂಜನೇಯ ನಿನ್ನ ನಾಮ ಜಗತಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಂತ್ರವು ಆಂಜನೇಯ ನಿನ್ನ ನಾಮ ಜಗತಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಂತ್ರವು ಬಾಧೆ ತಡಿಯಲಾರೆ ನಿನ್ನ ನಾಮ ಒಂದೇ ಸಾಕು ಕಲಿಬಾಧೆ ತಡಿಯಲಾರೆ ನಿನ್ನ ನಾಮ ಒಂದೇ ಸಾಕು ಯುಗ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ನೀನೇ ತಾನೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಕೊಡು ನನಗೆ ಯುಗ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ನೀನೇ ತಾನೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಕೊಡು ನನಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಹೃದಯ ಮಂದಿರವೇ ಕಾರ್ಯಸಿದ್ಧಿ ಮಂಟಪವು ನನ್ನ ಹೃದಯ ಮಂದಿರವೇ ಕಾರ್ಯಸಿದ್ಧಿ ಮಂಟಪವು ಗುರುಗಿರಿಯ ನಗರವೇ ದತ್ತ ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದವು ಗುರುಗಿರಿಯ ನಗರವೇ ದತ್ತ ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದವು ಅಂಜನಾ ದೇವಿಯ ತಪದ ಫಲದ ರಾಸಿನಿ ಅಂಜನಾ ದೇವಿಯ ತಪದ ಫಲದ ರಾಸಿನಿ ಆಂಜನೇಯ ನಿನ್ನ ನಾಮ ಜಗತಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಂತ್ರವು 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 ಜಗತಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಂತ್ರವು ಜಗತಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಂತ್ರವು ಜಗತಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಂತ್ರವು
Happy Hanuman Jayanti this coming Wednesday, everyone. At this stage, we begin to wrap up today's episode of Datta Arpanam.
Pranams and gratitude are offered at the divine feet of beloved Sadgurudeva, Paramapujya Shri Ganapati Satchidananda Datta Ji and Shri Datta Vijayananda Tirtha Swami Ji, without whose teachings, compassion, love, guidance and music, this program would not exist.
Pranams to you, Puja Shri Datta Ji and Shri Swami Ji. Kindly forgive any errors which may have been committed in preparing or in sharing today's episode of Datta Arpanam, and please guide us to avoid such errors in the future.
Special thanks are extended to the staff at 103.1 FM and to the sponsors of Datta Arpanam, Valini's Drug Mart Limited, Ramlal Educational Institute, Debe Supermart Limited, and Kokie Supermart Limited. And of course, dear listener, an extra special thank you is extended to you for sharing this devotional hour with us.
If you would like to listen to today's program again, check out the Datta Arpanam Facebook page where later this week the YouTube link for today's episode will be shared.
Once again, everyone, thank you for tuning in today. You are invited to please tune in to 103.1 FM again next Sunday at 6 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time for another episode of Datta Arpanam, a showcase of the life, music and teachings of His Holiness Paramapujya Shri Ganapati Satchidananda Datta Ji.
Jai Guru Datta.
Shri Guru Datta. Etat phalam Shri Sadguru Charanara Pranamastu. Harihi Om Tat Sat.
Om Ramachandraya Namaha. Om రామచంద్రాయ నమః. ఓం నమో రామచంద్రాయ నమః. ఓం నమో రామచంద్రాయ నమః. జయ హనుమాన్ జ్ఞాన గుణ సాగర, జయ కపీశతి లోక ఉజాగర, రామదూత తులిత బలధామ, అంజని పుత్ర పవన సుతనామ, మహావీర విక్రమ బజరంగి, సుమతి నివార సుమతి కేసంగి, కంచన వర్ణ విరాజ సువేశ, కానన కుండల కుంచిత కేశ, హాత వజ్ర హరుధ్వజ విరాజై, కాంతే ముంజ జనేవు సాజై, శంకర సువన కేసరి నందన, తేజ ప్రతాప మహాజగవందన, విద్యావాన గుణి అతి చాతుర, రామ काज करिवे को आतुर, प्रभु चरित्र सुनिवे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया, सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा, भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज संवारे, लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुवीर हर्ष उर लागे, रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही सम भाई, सहस वदन तुमरो यश गावै, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावै, सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीश, नारद शारद सहित अहीश, यम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते, कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते, तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा, तुम्हारो मंत्र विभीषण मान, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना, युग सहस्र योजन पर भानु, लील्योताहि मधुर फल जानु, प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि, जलधि लांघि गई अचर जनाहि, दुर्गम काज जगत जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हारे देते, राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होतन आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे, सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी शरण, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना, आपन तेज सम्हारो आपै, तीनों लोका हांकत कांपै, भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवै, महावीर जब नाम सुनावै, नासै रोग घरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा, संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावै, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावै, सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, जिनके काज सकल तुम साजा, और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे, चारों युग प्रताप तुम्हारा, है पर सिद्ध जगत उजियारा, साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे, अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, असवर दीन्हा जानकी माता, राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रखो रघुपति के दासा, तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावै, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावै, अंत काल रघुवर पुर जागी, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहागी, और देवता चित्तन धरगी, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करगी, संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरै हनुमत बलवीरा, जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई, यह शतवार पाठ कर जोई, छूट ही बंदी महा सुख होई, जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा, तुलसीदास सदा हरिचेरा, जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा. श्री पवन सुत हनुमान की
जय.
श्री पवन सुत हनुमान की
जय.
सीतारामचंद्र प्रभु की
जय.
सीतारामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः. सीतारामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम तत्सत.